French President Emmanuel Macron's government narrowly survived a no-confidence motion in the National Assembly Monday after bypassing the lower house last week to push through an unpopular overhaul to the pension system. The outcome was a relief to Macron. A successful no-confidence vote would have sunk his government and killed the legislation, which is set to raise the retirement age by 2 years to 64. But the relief could be short-lived. For one thing, the vote was closer than expected. Some 278 MPs voted in favor of the tripartisan no-confidence motion, just 9 short of the 287 needed for it to succeed. In addition, unions and protesters have vowed to carry on with the strikes and protests against the pension reform. Macron's government says reform is necessary to keep the pension budget afloat. Some hard-left lawmakers have called on the Prime Minister to resign. When she addressed lawmakers on Monday, angry MPs walked out in protest.
These are lawmakers who are denying their role in Parliament and are claiming that the streets are more legitimate than the institutions.
After the vote, far-left lawmaker Mathilde Panot said the government has already lost its legitimacy.
We only needed 9 more votes for this motion of no confidence to break this government and its reform. 9 votes. As the government is already dead in the eyes of the French people, it no longer has legitimacy, and of course a prime minister who no longer has legitimacy or power to push through with her reform, and who has to resign while bringing away the reform with her.
Violent unrest has erupted across the country in recent days, and trade unions have promised to intensify their strike action, leaving Macron to face the most dangerous challenge to his authority since the Yellow Vest uprising over 4 years ago. A 9th nationwide day of strikes and protests is scheduled on Thursday. Opposition parties are also ready to challenge the pension bill in the Constitutional Council, which could decide to strike down some or all of it if it considers the new law to breach the Constitution.
Like everyone, I'm disappointed and angry. I don't think this being struck down in Parliament puts an end to the fight against the extraordinary social repression that this bill represents, against which the Human Rights League has been fighting from the beginning. I think the disproportionate police-led repression that comes with the action of these past few days increases the anger expressed even more.
Vote of no confidence being struck down is not a huge surprise for us, of course, but it will only make the movement bigger, and it is far from being the last weapon we have in this political, social and institutional crisis.
C'est loin d'être la dernière des armes qu'on a dans cette crise qui est à la fois sociale, qui est politique, qui est institutionnelle.
Voilà, des gens à Bordeaux. On regarde son victoire. Allez, on se raligne les gars.
The street, yes, that's what's left. But we don't care about the number of people out here. We don't care about the number out here right now. That's not what counts. What counts is the radical spirit we bring to the street. For example, I won't say exactly what is happening now, but there are wild demonstrations being prepared all over Paris. And that's it. It's the radical nature of this movement that will make Macron bend. It has opened a breach that is not ready to close.
Macron a ouvert une brèche qui n'est pas prêt de refermer en tout cas, qui n'est pas en train de refermer.
There are a lot of young people here. People think this subject does not concern us, but in fact it does. If our grandparents will now have to work longer, we know that things will get worse, because basically that's the path we have been taking for the last 20 years. Meanwhile, the youth have decided that it's the people who count above all. This is too important because we have been screwed. We don't see a future, and the little future we could see with the social rights we had before, which are now being broken, is being taken away from us. That is why we are here.